Hello everyone and welcome back to Mach 1 Mindset. Today we're diving into AP US Government and Politics 1.10 Required Founding Documents. Now before we get started, please make sure you like, subscribe, and of course comment down below if you have any questions. Let's get into it. Welcome to the final topic of Unit 1, Required Founding Documents. These texts form the intellectual foundation of American government. They explain not only how the system works, but why it exists in the first place. Together, they reveal long-standing tensions between liberty and order, national power and state authority, and majority rule and minority rights. These documents are not just historical artifacts. They continue to shape law, politics, and civic debate today. Let's begin with the document that started it all. The Declaration of Independence, written in 1776 by Thomas Jefferson, was a bold statement of political philosophy. Drawing heavily from Enlightenment thinkers like John Locke, the Declaration argued that all people possess natural rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Governments exist to protect those rights, and their power comes from the consent of the governed. Most of the document lists grievances against King George III. These complaints justified independence by showing that Britain had violated the social contract. The Declaration mattered because it framed rebellion as a moral duty when government becomes tyrannical. It also inspired future democratic and anti-colonial movements around the world. Next came the Articles of Confederation, America's very first constitution. Written during the Revolutionary War, the Articles reflected deep fear and centralized authority. The national government consisted of a single legislature with no executive or judicial branches. Each state had one vote, and the amendments required unanimous approval. Congress could declare war and make treaties, but it could not tax, regulate interstate commerce, or enforce laws. These weaknesses led to economic instability, poor foreign relations, and the inability to respond to crises like Shays' Rebellion. The failure of the Articles demonstrated that excessive state sovereignty weakened national unity and pushed leaders towards the constitutional reform. That debate played out in the Federalist Papers, a series of essays written to support the ratification of the Constitution. In Federalist Number 10, James Madison addressed the problem of factions. He argued that factions are inevitable in a free society, but their harmful effects can be controlled. A large republic combined with representative democracy would prevent any one faction from dominating. This essay supports pluralism and justifies a strong, extended republic. Federalist Number 51, also by Madison, focused on preventing tyranny. Madison explained that separation of powers and checks and balances are necessary because the people are not perfect. Each branch must have the ability to limit the others. Powers must check power. This essay directly supports the Constitution's structure. Alexander Hamilton took the lead in Federalist Number 70, arguing for a single, energetic executive. Hamilton believed unity is the presidency would promote accountability, speed, and effective leadership. A weak or divided executive, he warned, would lead to a legislative dominance and ineffective government. In Federalist Number 78, Hamilton defended the judiciary. He described it as the least dangerous branch because it controls neither money nor force. Judicial independence and lifetime tenure would allow courts to protect the Constitution. This essay introduced the idea of judicial review, later established in Marbury v. Madison. Opposition voices were just as important. Brutus No. 1, an anti-federalist essay, warned that the Constitution gave too much power to the federal government. Brutus feared the Supremacy Clause and the Necessary and Proper Clause would erase state authority. He argued that large republics led to distant, unaccountable government and threatened liberty. These debates shaped the final document itself. The U.S. Constitution, written in 1787, replaced the Articles of Confederation and created a stronger federal system. It established three branches of government: federalism, checks and balances, and popular sovereignty. Power came from the people, not a monarch. The amendment process allowed the document to evolve over time, making both stable and flexible. To address anti-federalist concerns, a Bill of Rights was added in 1791. The first 10 amendments protect individual liberties, including speech, religion, due process, and limits on federal power. The 10th Amendment reinforced state authority by reserving undelegated powers to the states. Finally, although written much later, the Letter to Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr. connects founding ideals to modern civil rights struggles. King argued that unjust laws violated moral law and must be challenged through nonviolent civil disobedience. His reasoning echoes the natural rights philosophy of the Declaration and shows how founding principles can be used to expand liberty. To conclude, these documents work together as a conversation across time. Some argue for strong government, others warn against it. Some prioritize order, others liberty. Together they define American democracy. They are not just documents to memorize. They are tools for understanding how the United States governs, debates, and evolves over time.